Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the channel. My name is Johnny K, and today we have another product review. So I am ready to get this show on the road. We are at the Rough Country website. The product in question, Black Series LED light bar, single row, 30-inch. Full disclosure, I'm not being paid at this point in time to go over this product. Rough Country is not sponsoring me in any way, shape, or form. In the event that changes, I will let everybody know. So, continuing on, the price point, $179.95. Whether that price is fair or not, I guess, would be open to interpretation depending on what you are looking for in a light bar. I can tell everybody through my experience, I tried going the Amazon route. I ordered 2 or 3 different light bars. I had to send each and every one of them back because they all had some type of issue, whether it be the housings were damaged or wiring harnesses were missing or light switches were missing. There was an issue with every light bar that I had shipped to me when I purchased from Amazon. So I finally said, nope, no more. I don't care if it's going to be the cheaper route. I'd prefer to order from a manufacturer that is a bit more reputable. And that's when I came across, well, I didn't come across Rough Country. At that point in time, I had already had a significant amount of Rough Country products, and I've had a lot of experience with Rough Country. So then I decided, why not just keep buying Rough Country products if they continue to suit me well? So I did that very thing, and I came across this 30-inch light bar. So why did I choose single row? Well, combination of a few things. First and foremost, I didn't want to be overloading my battery or overloading my MLC6 multi-light controller. And also I wanted a more sleek design with my light bars. I wanted them to be like slimmer or lower profile. And that's pretty much it. So let's go ahead and blow up all one of the photo that Rough Country has on its site right now. And that's totally okay. There's not, in my opinion, there isn't an immediate need to have any other photos here. Everything that you need to see is going to be in this one photo right here. So you have your light bar itself, you have your switch, you have your wiring harness, and then you have your 2 different sets of mounts. You have your base mounts here, then you have your end mounts here, depending on how you would prefer to mount this. And then you have your snap-on lens cover here. To be perfectly honest, I do not even keep this on my light bar, mainly because I am just overly concerned that it's just going to pop right off, because even though it does snap on, it doesn't seem like it is all that secure. So I'm sure that there's a way that I can come up with to better secure it, but I'm not worried about it right now. So just so everyone's aware. Okay. Now let's go ahead and move on down here. There we go, to our features. So 12,000 lumens, 150 watts. So for the sake of conversation, 150 watts at a 12 volt power source. That means that this bad boy's putting up about 12.5 amps. Okay, so if you're using a multi-light controller, a lot of them recommend you don't exceed like 40 or 50 continuous amps at a time. So this light will account for 12.5 amps. It contains 35 watt high intensity Cree LEDs, 30 degree spot beam, waterproof rating of IP67, black panel design, durable die cast aluminum housing, moisture breather technology reduces moisture buildup behind the lens. Noise silencers eliminate hum, whistle, and other wind noises associated with mounted LED light bars. To keep this as simple as possible, depending on where you mount a light bar, because it's not an original design of the vehicle and it's not streamlined to the vehicle, you can just anticipate that you're going to have wind noise, and that's just the reality of the situation. Okay. It includes premium flat wound wiring harness with an on-off switch. Includes snap cover, has both base mounts and end mounts. Overall length is 31.37 inches, bolt diameter 8 millimeters, and then it's got a 3-year warranty as well. So, let's view an instruction sheet. So this is for all of you who do not plan on utilizing this with an MLC6 or a multi-light controller. So, you have your 2 different connections here. One connection from the light bar itself to your relay, and then you have a connection from your 3-way switch to your relay as well. And then you've got your red wire with the line and fuse here, and you have your ground wire here as well. This will connect to your positive side of the battery. This will connect to either the negative terminal or a ground location in the vehicle. Okay, simple enough. And then if you want to read through the instructions upon receiving your product, they are right here. I will admit, when I first started getting into wiring and doing electrical, at least on vehicles, I had a lot of anxiety over it. And I still do. I still don't really love doing electrical work. It's just something that I would prefer not to. But as I'm presented with opportunities where I just don't have a choice, so like not even in my vehicles, but even at home, like I had to put in all new light fixtures in our house, and I didn't want to pay an electrician, I didn't want to pay an electrician to do that, so I just did it myself, and it's definitely not as bad as I thought it was, and I'm getting more and more comfortable with it. It's just still not my favorite thing to do, right? But at least when it comes to vehicles, the doing electrical in vehicles is a bit easier when you're able to determine that, okay, what is your power source in your average car? All right, it's the battery. It runs off of a 12-volt power source, okay? So just having a firm grasp of that concept, no matter how simple it may sound, that actually helped me a lot, right? And again, it's because people know that the battery is, it stores the power in your vehicle, but there's a different way of thinking about it, at least in my opinion, when you start mounting like auxiliary accessories and stuff like that. So anyway, that's just my mindset. All right, cool. So I think at this point in time, that pretty much will wrap up part 1 of the video. As usual, part 2, we will go ahead and go out to the truck. I will show everybody how not only I have this thing mounted, but also how I routed the wiring harness as well. Because again, there's multiple ways that you can do that as well. That is just the way that I chose. So yeah, looking forward to it. So just bear with me, ladies and gentlemen, and we will be right back. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to part 2 of the Rough Country 30-inch light bar review. So here are some angles of this bad boy installed on my sport rack. You'll be able to notice that these particular end mounts do not look like the ones offered with the Rough Country light bar, and that is true. These light mounts came with my sport bar, and I actually preferred them. It made the light bar sit a little bit higher, which is what I wanted. So we're just gonna go around and get some views here, and don't worry, yes, we will, I know it is daylight, but we will turn this thing on just so you can get an idea of how bright it is, considering that it is only a single row. So we'll get a view from the rear here. All right, so now we're gonna go around to the other side, and what we're gonna do is is we're going to show you how we did the wiring on this thing. All right. So I don't know if this would be considered the most practical or not. But so let's just get some quick angles here. All right. So as we can see, the wiring for this thing, it comes out the, I guess you can say the left side. It goes behind the bracket, and then it just comes below here. Now, the different ways of doing this. Okay. You could choose to drill a hole or to, route these wires differently. I just really like zip ties. They seem to just work out well for me. Let's get up on the tire here. So, the first connector that connects the wiring harness to the actual light itself is down here. I made sure that that connection was, I guess, as much out of the way as possible. Excuse me. From there, I just used more zip ties to hold up this the wiring here. And then what ultimately occurred is I routed it around the back to the front, and then it went down in between the cab and the bed. So as you can see here's the wiring harness here. It might be difficult to see as we go down here, but it's definitely in there, no doubt about it. So let's see if we can get up underneath the truck and I can show you exactly where it is. So as you can see here, this bad boy, that is the wiring harness itself, and then I have it zip tied to the emergency brake line right there. All right, and I just routed it all the way down. You might be able to see it there. Yep, right up here. Okay, and no, it hasn't affected the parking brake at all. It is working just fine, as I don't see why it wouldn't, but it is doing the job. And then you will be able to see, once we get up here under the driver's side wheel well, right here, you see this red and black wire? That is an extension of the wiring harness for the light bar. Goes behind the splash guard here, goes up here, mounts to this ordeal here, and then goes up underneath into the engine bay. All right, right here. Okay, hopefully everybody can see that. So we got another zip tie there, hold that up, zip tie here to hold it up, and then we have zip ties holding it up on the emergency brake line as well. So, sorry, I need to go back here. You notice that there's exposed red and black wires there. In order for this to work, the wiring harness that came with the light bar wasn't long enough. So if you plan on getting this light bar and mounting it to a sport rack, you're going to need some extensions. So go to your local hardware store, get yourself some 16 gauge red and black wire. Okay, that is the gauge wiring for this product, is 16 gauge. So if you were wondering, if you're going to mount this up above your windshield, or even like in the front of the vehicle, you'll probably be okay and won't need the extensions. But definitely if you're going to mount this in the bed of your truck or around the bed of your truck, you're going to need this. And it's not a big deal. You just cut the ends of the wiring harness, you strip the ends of the 16 gauge wiring, and then you can take some butt connectors or some shrink wrap and just connect them. Call it good. Then what we'll do, let's pop the hood. Open up this bad boy if it wants to work with me. Okay. Yep. And then just right here, this slot here is where I have it wired into. So the wire comes up from there into the engine bay, right through here. There we are. Just like that. So we will put this back on. Locky. We'll close this. Alright, so right now we can see we are turned off. Let's go see if we can add some life here. Dink. Switch is on. Hold on. Maybe I should show everybody. So I have it on my second position here, or technically this is the 5th position according to how Rough Country has this orientated. So turn that switch on, go over here, and we have light. I mean, of course you can see it way better in the dark, but I think you'll all just take my word for it. Cool. So, ladies and gentlemen, I think that is going to go ahead and wrap this one up. If everyone enjoyed the content, please be sure to comment, like, and subscribe. Keep in mind there will still be much more to come. I also want to take some time to properly promote my other channel, which is called Johnny K Pigskin. You know what? Hold on. Hold that thought. Hold that thought. So, yeah. That's what happens when you have disrespectful neighbors. They like to crank their music with their windows down. Anyways, Johnny K Pigskin is my other channel. I just talk about NFL football with some emphasis on my favorite team, the Atlanta Falcons. I'm trying to get that channel up and running. It's not getting a whole lot of traffic right now. So please, if everyone can give that a view if you're interested in NFL football, that would greatly be appreciated. I also use Buy Me a Coffee. I also have an Etsy shop. Those are all ways that you can support just all of my channels. So until next time, ladies and gentlemen, thank you all very much, and we will catch you all next time.